Just when you thought the drama on OnlyFans couldn't get any messier, boom. Two of the platform's most recognizable adult creators, Sophie Rain and Bonnie Blue, are now at the center of a bitter public feud that's exposed deep cracks in the creator community. Bonnie Blue has just been permanently banned from OnlyFans, and in a fiery rant, Sophie Rain claims she knows exactly why, and she's calling her out by name. From massive earnings to internet disgrace, this is a story about power, platform politics, and whether shock content has finally gone too far. On June 13th, Sophie Rain, a top-tier creator known for balancing explicit content with high production value, took to social media to issue a blistering statement about what's happening behind the scenes on OnlyFans. And the name at the center of her fury? Bonnie Blue. Here's what Sophie said, quote, "This platform is turning into a clown show. Creators like Bonnie Blue have pushed the boundaries so far that it's now hurting all of us. She didn't get banned for no reason." Those words, raw, unapologetic, and aimed directly at a once top-performing creator, lit a fire across forums, Twitter/X, and Reddit. But what exactly triggered this? Why now? And what does it say about OnlyFans' future? If you're not familiar with Bonnie Blue, she's no newcomer. Bonnie carved out a controversial space for herself on OnlyFans, known for high-energy, explicit, often shocking content. Her brand wasn't just adult entertainment, it was provocative performance. From role-play scenarios to wild collaborations, Bonnie thrived off of what others considered too far. And it worked, financially at least. At her peak, industry insiders say Bonnie was pulling in between $60,000 to $90,000 a month. That's over $1 million a year from subscriptions, pay-per-view content, and private chats. But with success came scrutiny, both from fans and, apparently, from the platform itself. Earlier this week, Bonnie's account was permanently removed from OnlyFans. No suspension, no appeal, gone. Officially, OnlyFans gave no detailed reason, a standard move. But insiders believe it was related to policy violations involving content guidelines and increasingly risky content formats. Sophie Rain believes that Bonnie's actions were the last straw, not just for herself, but for the platform's reputation. In Sophie's words, she pushed and pushed until the rest of us had to pay the price. Sophie believes creators like Bonnie are the reason OnlyFans has recently begun enforcing tighter restrictions, particularly around extreme content, drug use imagery, and unverified collaborations. What followed Sophie's statement was a wave of responses, both in support and opposition. Some creators praised Sophie for saying what others were too afraid to say out loud. Others called her out for throwing a fellow creator under the bus in public, accusing her of jealousy or trying to build clout on Bonnie's downfall. The creator community appears divided. Is this a necessary reckoning, or just opportunistic drama in a competitive industry? Let's talk real numbers. Bonnie Blue's permanent ban doesn't just mean a loss of subscribers. It's the collapse of an entire income stream. Analysts estimate Bonnie will lose at least $800,000 to $1.2 million per year, depending on how many of her followers switch to new platforms like Fansly or LoyalFans. But it's not just about the money, it's also about reach. OnlyFans is still the #1 adult subscription site in terms of traffic and payout infrastructure. Rebuilding from scratch is a steep climb. And for Bonnie Blue, who built her brand entirely around OnlyFans exclusivity, this ban is devastating. This feud is more than a personal spat. It reflects a larger shift happening inside the industry. OnlyFans is clearly trying to clean up its act, tightening rules, blocking certain kinds of content, and appealing to banks and investors who want a safer branding platform. Sophie Rain is arguing that content like Bonnie's makes that mission impossible. In other words, the more extreme the creators, the more at risk the platform becomes for everyone. It's the same tension we've seen on platforms like YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. Freedom versus monetization. Wild content may go viral, but it rarely survives policy reviews. So what's next? Bonnie Blue is reportedly exploring backup platforms and may start a direct-to-fan site of her own. Whether her fans follow, and whether she can maintain her income, remains to be seen. As for Sophie Rain, She's now being seen as a kind of whistleblower, either the industry's new voice of reason or someone capitalizing on controversy. But the bigger question is, will this change how OnlyFans treats creators moving forward? Will more bans follow? And how will fans respond when their favorite? This feud has exposed deep cracks in the adult creator economy, and depending on how the dust settles, it could shape the future of the entire platform. Was Sophie Rain right to speak out? Did Bonnie Blue really go too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for the latest on influencer news, digital drama, and internet culture breakdowns.